Hey guys, welcome back to the Golden Door Garage. So we've got a lot of stuff going on in the shop, as you guys saw last time, but outside of the shop we do not have any livestock anymore. In fact, the farmer that runs the stuff locally here uses some of the Golden Door Garage property to allow animals to graze, has moved to another segment of property down the road from us. But they do have a mobile shade trailer that they put out for the animals, and we figured they needed a nice sign to make sure everyone knew whose it was. That's where this comes in. We quickly cut it out on the STV CNC. Looks good. And can anybody figure out what that says? Yeah, done fucking about farms. They know what's up. After the video, check out the link in description where you can buy products from the Done Fucking About farm. So in the shop, everybody has been going like crazy. Well, Ben's outside of the shop, but he's been running around crazy too. Check out some of this stuff he powder coated up for one of the engines that we've got going on right now. The big LS rebuild for this truck. God, this thing's gonna look so sharp. Okay, I got it wrong. Alan is the one that put down the base coat on the powder coat. Ben ended up doing clear coat after this, not on film. But you get the picture. Either way, these things turned out super sharp, I think. And I love the way the powder changes from a bright orange right here to, well, you'll see this. Bright cherry red. Stuff all turned out beautiful. Hopefully we'll have all the parts in for that shortly, and we can start getting this engine ready to go back together. Those of you who have been watching for a while, the Volvo has come back by, and we're gonna be building some other parts for this, so stay tuned. So you guys saw the Volvo is back. He's dropped off a pair of hubs. We're gonna get these cleaned up and powder coated so they look sharp, and we're going to work on building a trans mount for that car as well. Alright guys, so I told you this week we've been waiting on a whole bunch of parts for all of these pickup trucks and small block Chevy motors and stuff we're working on, and something in the universe got a little mixed up, and today this is what we had delivered. Another Chevy pickup truck with an engine problem. And this one though has an LS in it. So we're going to work on this and figure out what's going on now. Well, we went ahead and brought the truck in, and we are going to start diagnosing on it, see if we can figure out what's going on and what this noise is that it has in the engine. Ooh, those are the bad sparkles. You can see here Alan cutting the oil filter open so that we can inspect it and see how much material is actually in the bottom end of this engine. Never something you want to have to do, but sometimes it is necessary. All in all, we did not have oil flowing to the top of the heads. We've drained the oil and it had a bunch of shiny stuff in it. Come over here, we've got the filter cut open, as you guys saw. And you can see all the little flakes and shiny pieces hidden throughout. So, after speaking with the customer and making the decision that we are going to put a new engine in here, we had to figure out what engine were we going to use. And that's where I have a major update for the Bel Air project. The engine is coming out of that to go in this one for the customer. Okay, so we have the engine out of our pickup truck here. Now it's time to get the engine to replace it. It's going to come out of the Bel Air. Alan and Ben are working on getting the motor out. I'm going to go ahead and take the oil pan off of this one so that we can have that for changeover. And then hopefully this thing can all go back together today. Okay, so with that motor out and torn down a little bit, we can confirm it was a 4.8. We can look and see our crank trigger wheel, so we know we match with the new motor. And if we look close, you can see little bits of metal all throughout this engine. Unfortunately, that one's going to need quite a bit of work to get it back up and running. But motor from the Bel Air is here, clean and fresh, ready to go. we're gonna get to it. You want to hold it?
Sure.
It's recording. Hi, Mom. Oh no, she's dead. Never mind.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that didn't go as planned. Turns out we did get it to actually fire off, but too little too late. There was a problem in the bottom end of that motor. We actually had an oil pump that lost prime. And so when it fired, we heard some bottom end noise, and there's no way I'm gonna let this engine go out for a customer when I'm not happy with how it's running. So, we've gone ahead and pulled the engine right back out of this truck. If you recall, we had the red and gold 4.8 that was going to go in the Corolla until we found out it was a 4.8. And we are going to dismantle that, do a little bit of stuff to it, and get it together so that it can go back in this truck and we can get it back to the customer in a timely manner. As for the red, white, and blue motor, there's really not a lot left. We've pulled it all down. Nothing is hurt bad by any means, but before I'm sending an engine out, I want to make sure it's right. All right, we have stripped down the gold and red 4.8. We are switching over the pan, just making sure everything is set underneath, and we're going to go back together with the covers from the other engine. So this thing's got the Americana theme when we put it back in this truck.
All right, so I didn't film it, but this is actually the moment that I figured out why our other engine lost oil pump prime. So turns out that the pickup tube and the oil pan I switched off of the engine that came in the truck onto our unit, and I cleaned them. However, when we switched them, we didn't notice that the pickup tube was incorrect, and so it was actually resting against the bottom of the oil pan. Odd mistake, but somebody had put the wrong pickup tube in that first engine. That's why it had no oil flowing at all. We have resolved the problem, and I think this one is going to be good to go.
All right, we've got Alan getting this engine all finished up, torquing the heads down on it. New head bolts, new head gaskets, all resealed. We changed out timing chain. We checked all of the bearing clearances. We're gonna get this thing ready to go. Let's take a quick moment and switch gears and take a look at all of the parts that came in for our great big red LS build truck. All week it was like Christmas. Stuff just kept showing up, and we piled this entire table full of pieces for that truck. Now, let's check in on the Corolla motor. Well guys, it is Tinkering Tuesday officially, and so that means we are back out at Rockwell Truck Service so that we can do some more tinkering and see if we can become machinist.
Lock it in here. This should be coming now.
Everything appears to be going well, and we're starting our next cut to try and remove some sleeves this evening. I thought this slow-mo footage was awesome. Loved being able to get this. Just kind of cool and interesting to see it taking that first bite into that cylinder wall. We really had a good evening out at the machine shop and got a lot accomplished, got the machine set up, and are now able to replicate and make sure that when we cut, we are perfectly centered and we take exactly what we want off. So we're going to go back out there, and you guys will see more footage from that next time when we are removing the rest of those sleeves and possibly even starting the process of putting the first ones in. Now, I guess let's get back to that pickup truck that we were having some engine problems out of. So there's the first one. There's the second one. Third time's the charm, right? That is the original red, white, and blue motor we pulled out of the Bel Air. The one over behind me was the motor that came with the truck, and now, after being rebuilt this weekend, this is the red and gold motor from the Corolla, dressed in the stars and stripes, ready to finally go back in here and get this thing out of here and back to the customer. All finished up, running nice. Well, it's all finished up now, and we just noticed something that we should have taken note of a lot sooner, and that was the tag on the keys. Trust issues. This one's got a few. We'll be leaving here to go get a tune because we did find that the timing is off in it, and that's going to need to be adjusted before this thing runs up and down the road a bunch. But the engine is in, runs strong, sounds nice, and this thing is ready to leave. Alright, so if you guys recall, we were brought this mount for the Volvo, and this is what we came up with. We moved this inboard and upward a little bit to correct the angle from the current subframe mount. Then we had a set of knuckles that just needed some freshening. So they've been sandblasted. Milled surfaces, of course, have been taped off so they don't have any powder on them, and then coated in clear thanks to prismatic. And these things look really sharp and should stay like this for years to come. Overall, I think this is going to turn out great, and customers looking forward to installing. A little more work with the local farmer. Farmer got his new cow shade. I think we need to cut him another sign for this one. Cut is all complete. A little bit of blue powder coat on there. That's gonna look real good. There we go, guys. The second shade trailer for the cows is together. Remember, go check out DUNPHA Farms, pre-order some beef, get yourself some good stuff, and know that the Golden Door Garage and DUNPHA have been having a lot of fun out here.